And now sports with Chris Dewar from the Little Jess Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Sports Desk.
Well, tip top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final, where it is, hear me out right here, the spring sports season, but with a midwinter feel out there. Not exactly ideal conditions for playing anything outside, but in this first real full-fledged week of the campaign, with a really nice docket on hand, it was worth shivering for just a bit. Lots of events out there, leading off with the Quincy High Girls Soccer Invitational, night one tonight. Good matchup right out of the gate between the host squad and Hannibal. Early on in this one, Taylor Foey with a big save for the Blue Devils to get things started on the right foot. 20 minutes in, we finally had a breakthrough in the scoring column, and it would come off the corner restart, and it would come here courtesy of Sydney Welsh, who not on first effort, but second effort punches that home. And that's how the first half would end, with the Blue Devils up in this one 1-0. Second half, Taylor Ruth about to bust free, and this is a beautiful run and great score on the back end of the fun as this one, as she's going to come free, cross up the defender, and cross up the keeper as well. Made it 2-0. Hannibal added a late goal with 1:30 left in this one, but it would be Quincy High School pulling off the victory tonight, 2-1. Quincy High School in action twice again tomorrow, as is Hannibal, as is Quincy Notre Dame. However, the Lady Raiders tournament stint got off to a rough start against a really good Ladue squad today, as Quincy Notre Dame drops its first match of the season. 3-0 was your final there. We did have some limited baseball action today. Despite the weather, South Shelby goes on the road and wins yet again, blanking Putnam County. Another great pitching effort from Lucas Magruder, who struck out 11 in 5 1/3 innings worth of work. PJ Schmidt on in relief with the save in that one. And a rough night for the Beardstown Tigers, taking on Williamsville, 9-0 your final there. Clark County and Illini West with a wild one today up in Carthage. The Indians already up 3-0 on the strength of a Drew Holstead 3-run home run. All of a sudden, IW in comeback mode. 3 unanswered runs, including this one, as Reese Shoup scores to help bring things back into cohesion. Freshman Connor Shatley, he of the Burt Blyleven-esque curveball, gets out of the jam right there. Later, how about more from Clark County, though? Picking up where they left off in the first, Carter Briscoe with the RBI single to give his team a 4-3 lead. Then with the bases loaded, you heard me mention Drew Halstead. Have a day, young man. Already 3 ribbies on the board. The grand slam would make it 7. Hits this one off the tree in center field. That's pretty nifty hitting and a big boost. I believe that's already 3 home runs on the young season for Clark County's Mr. Holstead. He is quite the hitter, and you see it right there. His team jumps out to an 8-3 lead, but here comes Illini West. Drake Mudd going to score yet again, this time on a pass ball, just beating the tag attempt by Colin Hunziker right there. A little bit later, some hitting. Carter Chapin had a big day today. The RBI single cuts the lead at that point to 8-6. Eventually, Illini West would come back and tie this thing up at 8-8. IW trying to take the lead right here, but you know what? It would be Colin Hunziker cutting down the apparent go-ahead run at that point. Later, here comes Clark County yet again in this one. Mr. Holstead with a single to set things up. It's Matt Miller with the 2-run RBI rip right here to give Clark County the lead for good. The Indians end up winning this thing 13-10 in an absolute thriller today. Some softball scores to pass along. Quincy High School jumps all over Brown County this afternoon across the street. 18-8 was your final there. Macomb shuts out South Fulton today. Another great pitching effort by Caitlin Robinson in that one as she struck out 7. Illini West falls to Rushville Industry. Maybe Rushville Industry is a gathering storm. 2-0 to start the season, absolutely jackhammering Illini West and Payson Seymour in the first 2 days of the season. Story to keep an eye on. And speaking of Payson Seymour, what a nice bounce back for the Lady Indians as they take down North Green 17-2. Over in Bloomington today, we've got the Class 1A portion of the top times meet. You have to qualify by virtue of an outstanding performance to this point this season to be able to even compete. We had 4 really good showings today, led by Ariana Nyson with a new personal best in the 3,200 meters. She also set a new personal best in the mile today. That was good for a 2nd place and an 8th place finish over there. Maybe a harbinger of things to come when state rolls around. And Rushville Industry very well represented today as Charlie Terry finishes 5th in the pole vault. He's really good there. And Tyler Bickerman, finishes 6th in a loaded field in the 800 meter. Good stuff for him as well. Let us do some college baseball today. Quincy University, Truman State, game 1 of a 4-game weekend set. That means Will Fromm, the Scotland County native, back in town with Truman State. Early on, Spencer Walker, you remember, coming off that rough outing in his last go-round where he did not get an out. The strikeouts, 2 of them to start the first inning. A good sign of better things to come from Mr. Walker, the Hawks ace right there. He got some help in the second inning as well. His defense good behind him. It's Luke Napleton, not just for hitting home runs anymore. Guns a would-be runner, and then more from Spencer Walker on the hill. One more of his 10 Ks on the day. Good effort for him. He got a little run support early in this one as well. It would come from Austin Simpson taking advantage of the short porch to right field here. Going to leave the yard with the home run. Made it 1-0, but Truman State's offense would come to life and answer right back. Great piece of hitting right here coming up from Tall Dean with 2 aboard. This is just going to be a massage the line triple that keeps rolling forever, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-1 lead in favor of Truman State in this game. The defense also good for Truman State. Check out Holden Missy at first base with a great snare right there. Story of this day, though, it is, as it has been all season long for the Hawks, it's Luke Napleton time, doing what he does. He had 2 homers today. Man, he is just on a tear. 5 for 5 at the plate. This jack to right field. He hit another one in the 5th. Quincy University erupts to win game number 1 in this one. 14-4 was your final. And speaking of QU, that will be the next collegiate home of talented Rushville industry runner Katie Park, who signed on Thursday for both track and field and cross country with the Hawks, making her hard work all the more valid and her dreams come true.
It's amazing because I've kind of always known that I would love to continue running and that my running career is not over just when I graduate. So it means a lot to me. I really love the team. They're starting to build a new one, and the coach was very welcoming, helped make it feel like home. And then among many reasons such as location, academically, they have a lot of courses and scientific equipment that will help me get my major in biology. I want to major in biology because I want to go into dentistry and hopefully at the end of everything become an orthodontist. So I got a lot of years ahead. It's helped a lot. I've had a lot of help from every coach possible here, and even though it's a really small school, small town, everyone's done their best to help me and help me get here, and it means a lot.
One more signing from this week to bring you tomorrow on Overtime. I've got ambitious plans there. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates. We'll see you regardless at 10:30 with all the local sports we can pack into 30 minutes. Have a great weekend, everybody.